Hello, crafty friends. It's Christina. I am so happy to be here. I know I've been away for a couple of weeks, and I just want to say thank you for all of your kindness, all of your sweet messages. I greatly appreciate it. And I am looking forward to hopping into making a card today, and we are going to be making a shaker card using Spellbinders' brand new Glimmer of the Die of the Month for May. It's called Silhouette Balloon Greetings, and it's the coolest thing. I did make just a cutout of this already because I started to film this video and I messed up, so I already know what the cutout looks like, so I'm really excited about it. But I have the die of the month, the Glimmer die of the month for May, and I also have the add-on for it. But we're just going to be using the basic the die that you get with the actual kit. So if you don't get the add-on, you could see, you know, what it looks like. So we are jumping in. I have my hot foil machine here, and it's all ready to go. I'm going to give you just one quick tip. This is something I've found to be extremely helpful with not over foiling or getting that little bit of foil that transfer onto your cardstock. I let mine heat up for a long time. Then I only have to run it through my die cutting machine once, and I have less chances of it slipping and getting like a double impression of our foil, or actually even getting some transfer. So this has been heating up for quite some time, and we are ready to go ahead and get started. I have a piece of white cardstock, and this is a fairly thin cardstock because I'm going to try to do something that I'm not 100% sure if it's going to work. So we are first going to start off by laying out our dies just to make sure we have everything in the right spot. So this die set comes with a top and bottom portion of our balloon. So we have the bottom portion, and then this is the top portion. And then what you do is you take these smaller dies, which are the top and bottom of our sentiment. So I am going to take this one, and it goes right here at the bottom. This one actually bumps up right up against the bottom portion of the balloon. I could move my sentiment down just a little bit. And then we have the top part of our die. And then that one goes right on the top. For a second there, I thought I had the wrong die. And what's going to happen is these are going to line up so that it stays in place. So I wanted to kind of put this here so that I can see that I'm in the right spot. I feel like everything's just slightly crooked a little bit. And what I'm going to do is just hold on to my glimmer plate and slide my bottom portion and top portion of my balloon away. And then I'm going to take a piece of tape. This is the best tape ever, and it actually is, that's what it's called, and it actually is the best tape ever. This is Spellbinders tape. Comes in this size, which is about I think it's a 1/2 inch, and then they have a 1/4 inch size. And I use both of them all of the time. So I'm going to stick the glimmer plate down to my white cardstock, and we're going to just flip this up. I'm going to kind of peel it back just a little bit. I'm going to take this cute foil. This is called SKYBRIGHT foil, which is a gorgeous Spellbinders foil, and we're just going to stick that right under there. I wanted to peel the tape back a little bit just so I know that my foil is on covering my whole plate. And then we're ready to go ahead and put this onto our glimmer machine. So I'm going to take this whole thing, I'm just going to turn it upside down and put it right onto my glimmer plate system here. And I'm going to hit the timer. I also need to take and grab my 2 plates that you put on top of this. While that's heating up, I went ahead and grabbed my Platinum 6 here. This is my die cutting machine, which is also our glimmer foiling machine. And I have my little foil mat here so I can throw my hot die onto there. I also grabbed my tweezers just so I can grab everything with my tweezers so I don't burn my fingers. Wouldn't be the first time. Won't be the last, I'm sure. All right, so that is all heated up. I'm just going to go ahead and pop this out of the machine, and we can run it right through our die cutter. And like I said, I only go through once, and I rarely get any ghosting or over foiling. On occasion I'll get a little bit, but it's usually just a very minor amount. And we're going to grab our tweezers. I'm going to get these things out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. We're still going to need our die cutter, so I'm just going to set that back a little bit. And then I'm going to take my tweezers and peel back. Ooh, gorgeous. Love it. Oh, I love that blue color. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so I'm going to set this aside just so I don't accidentally touch that hot plate. And we are all set now to start die cutting. So we're going to need all of those balloon shapes, or those pieces that we had before, and our tape again, because we're going to have to tape stuff into place. So I'm going to grab actually my thinner tape. All right, so I grabbed my super thin tape. Best tape ever. I am going to start lining everything up. So I'm going to line the bottom, and I'm going to tape that down with my thinner tape. I'm going to put one on each side. I am trying to avoid getting onto the foil, because this is why I've had to redo this, because I accidentally hit the foil with the tape before and peeled some of the foil off. So I am trying not to get any foil on top of the, or any tape rather, on top of the foil, so that we don't have a issue with peeling any of the foil off accidentally, like I did earlier. The bottom one actually lines right up with this sentiment here, so we just have to line that up. Put that there. We'll grab our tape and just put that into place. I don't want this to move, so I'm going to be extra cautious. Add some extra tape. And then the top part goes right here. And again, we're just lining this up with that sentiment and adding tape just to hold it into place as well. So we've got a lot of tape being used, but we don't want it to move. So there we go. We have that all set. I'm going to grab my universal plates for my Spellbinders, so that we need the A plate, the B plate, and 2 C plates. So I have my C plate here, and this is where I'm going to do something a little dangerous. I'm going to take 2 pieces of cardstock and put them together, because I want to try something. I am not 100% sure if this is going to work. So if it doesn't work, I still have a shaker card I'm going to be making, but we're going to try it and see if we can do it. It's just an idea, so I'm going to try it. So my cardstock is pretty thin, so I don't have to worry about it being too thick and the dye is not going through. But I am going to run it through the machine twice, just to make sure that I've got a really good cutting of the dyes. Ooh. Oh yeah, good. It went through. So like I said, I used a really thin cardstock, and I was able to get both of these cut out. So I think I'm going to be able to pull off what I'm thinking I want to do. Let's pull out these. Ah! All right, that's okay. I'm not going to panic. I just ripped an edge, but I think we're going to be okay, because I think we could do this. I think I can. Okay, this is where we're going to test something out. So I thought I had a larger size polka dot, but I don't. I have a slimline polka dot, but that's okay. I think I can make this work, and I'm not going to worry too much about it. So I'm going to actually go ahead and just set this into the center. I have my A plate, my B plate, my embossing folder with my cardstock in the center, and we can run this through our machine. Love the polka dots. Okay. Now here's where we're going to see if we can make this happen. This kind of looks like I know what I'm doing, but I have no clue what I'm doing. I have my birthday sentiment cut out with the foil. I embossed, and my embossing folder was a slimline folder. So I am going to, I think I'm going to take these, just make sure they're lined up here in the center, and take some of my thin tape and wrap it around just so everything stays in place, because I am going to trim this down. I really look like I know what I'm doing, don't I? We're going to take my little trimmer here, and we are going to put this into the trimmer. So I'm cutting through 2 pieces of cardstock at the same time. Make sure that's nice and lined up. Oh, I'm scared. And then we're going to flip it around. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Does it look like I know what I'm doing? Line it up line it up, trim it down. Ooh, that's looking pretty cool. Okay. This is the part that's going to scare me just a little bit because I am going to cut off this piece, and I'm going to grab a pair of scissors here, and we are going to trim out our happy birthday and put it right on the top of there. Right? I told you I know what I'm doing. Okay, I am going to attempt to fussy cut around these. So I'm super nervous. Don't look. Oh. Oh, I'm nervous. Oh, that makes me so nervous. I do not like to fussy cut. Anybody else besides me not like to fussy cut? All right, this is going to be the hard part. I'm going to go down and just, I'm going to wing it. I'm not good at fussy cutting, so if any of you are good at fussy cutting, the only thing I know is to grab your cardstock, move your cardstock, not your scissors. But again, oh, I get to things like that and I get nervous. Okay. All right, I'm going to say that's not too bad. Fussy cutting, scary. Accomplished. I am ecstatic. All right, I'm going to set this aside so we don't accidentally do something to it and ruin it. So we're just going to put it over there. And we are going to make a shaker card. So the first thing we're going to need is some acetate or something to make our window. So I'm going to go and grab that. All right, so I am going to add some acetate to the back of this. I'm just using some scrapbook.com acetate that I have in my stash. And I am going to just adhere this down, hoping that I have some adhesive in this little dispenser here. And I don't think I did a very good job at cutting the acetate. I think it might be just a little too big, so we may have to do a little trimming. Yeah. Yep. So I'm also not liking that I have less space over here. So I'm going to trim this whole thing down just a little bit more, just to make it so it's even or close to even on both sides. And it also trims off that extra piece of acetate. So there we go. That is looking pretty good. Maybe we might be making a slimline card here today. I was thinking I would just add some cardstock to the back, but this might turn out to be a custom size slimline card. Okay, we are going to now go ahead and add some foam adhesive because, like I said, we're making this into a shaker card. So we have our window. So if you could, hopefully you could see that in the glare there. And then I'm going to fill this up with some foam adhesive, double-sided foam adhesive, so that we can put our card together. All right, so I'm just going to give another little tip here for today. What I like to do is I take my foam adhesive and fold it in half, kind of stick it so it's stuck together and we have a double layer. And that does make things a little bit easier for adding it to the card. You don't have to stack everything and peel backings off numerous times. So I'm just going to cut this in half so I can get into some of these smaller places. And we're just going to peel off one side for right now. And we are going to use this to fill in and kind of block in area where we're going to be putting our sequins. So I am going to go ahead and do that. Was challenging. I swear putting this tape on was harder than figuring out how to get it so that I can emboss one section. Okay, I have these sequins. I don't have a lot of these left, so we're gonna fill it up and just go in. There's like a teal, some little bit of glitter, all different kind of colors there. And I am going to use that. So we just have to figure out how to open it. Seems like I have never opened one of these before, which I have. I fought with the sequin or this tape. And it had a mind of its own. So I am going to add these sequins. I don't have a whole lot of these, but I love them. And it does let me use up one of my little package of sequins. So we're just going to go ahead and fill this up and put more up here because that's a bigger section. There's little stars in here, some glitter that's really adorable. And now I have to figure out how to get my fingers off the tape without sliding it all over the place. We gotta We got a straggler there. All right, and then I'm going to do is just take some white cardstock, put it right on the top of it. I am not worrying if it's straight or anything. At this point, I'm just happy to get this into place without sequins going all over the place. Let's see. The big reveal. Oh, is that adorable? Oh my goodness, I love that. Is that gorgeous? I love it. I did not realize there was a little bit of pink and yellow in here, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So we're going to trim this down. I'm going to make this so it's the same size as my shaker piece, assuming that we could fit into our board here. I think we're okay. I'm just going to take that out, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. All right, so I'm going to use a piece of teal topaz cardstock. This is 6 by 7, and on the 7-inch side, I am going to score it at 3.5. And that is going to make our card base for our card. So we're just going to give that a nice good score. Grab my bone folder, since this is a thicker cardstock, put that right up against here. Don't think my cardstock was cut very straight, so I may have to do a little bit of trimming. So I have my card base, but I already discovered I'm going to have to trim this down a little bit more. Before I do that, I think I'm going to cut off about 1/4 of an inch so that we have a nice straight, you know, even amount on all the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, I'm grabbing some of my Scor-Tape because this is a pretty heavy piece here, and we are going to add this to the back of our shaker panel. Just going to put a piece on each side and a little bit on each bottom. It's one thing about Scor-Tape I love is that you could just tear it with your fingers and go a little quicker with it. It's so much easier to use. I'll leave a link to that down below with the supplies, and if you want to check it out. I've had that for quite some time. Comes in all different sizes. As a matter of fact, scrapbook.com even has their own version. I've used their larger roll, but I have not purchased any of their smaller ones because I have so much of this one. So there's no point of buying adhesive that I don't need right now. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and put this right onto our card front. One thing to do is just be careful because this tape is super duper strong, and once you have this down, you're not going to get it back up. So we are going to put that on there. Oh, I just think that's adorable. All right, now I just need my sentiment. I added some foam adhesive to the back of my sentiment. And there we go. We have a shaker card, and I love that I was able to figure out the embossing folder and be able to use that with this die set. Super cute. That is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll have the supplies down below in the YouTube description if you want to check them out, as well as on the blog post that coordinates with this video. Thanks everybody for watching. See you next time.